Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your knitting project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I don't think I introduced you guys. Have I? This is my Hello Kitty. I have a video earlier where I finally, after several years, finished adding some stuffing to her. I stitched her up and now she has her dress back on. This dress actually belonged to me when I was a child, a very little girl, and my aunt made this, but she sent it to me unstuffed, and it took me way too long, but I finally stuffed her. So now she's part of the background with her adoptive non-licensed character Pikachu. This is my partner's. Again, my aunt made him, it, them, made them, and I had to stuff them and hadn't in a long time. So you probably saw already that I have an episode up, actually 2 or 3 maybe, of working on this one. I ran out of stuffing, finally bought some more, finally sewed them up, and now I don't really know where to put them, where they're not going to be, instead of pink, brown, and gray covered in cat fur. So I think they'll just chill out in this room as well as a display piece. So one day I hope, when I do move, to have a space just for all of my stuffed animals. That'll be a dream. Okay, so today's episode, we're going to continue with the blanket that I was working on and the second part of my 1-year anniversary celebration. It is my version of the magic number blanket that is below. However, I have modified it to be as big as a throw, maybe more like an Afghan. I don't know. It's big. It's supposed to be 60 inches long and wide, so it's about a square shape, but because of the numbers of the stitches being weird to convert it, it might not be exactly a square, but it'll probably be a square. Close to it, and then probably when I block it and stuff, or it stretches out in time and things, it might end up being kind of like a square. But we'll just keep working on it. It's pretty methodical right now because I'm literally just increasing every row by 1, and it's not much to it. I just had to make sure I did the math right, so I got the right length and knew how many stitches I needed at the widest point before I could start decreasing. And of course, not to lose track of where I am, I have to make sure I know how to count to 3, which you would think would be easy enough, but when you're flapping your gums, after a while things just become really blurry and you never know. But to give you a reminder, if this is the first time you're watching me working on this, I am using the Caron 1 pound, so it's a worsted weight acrylic, and I'm using size 9 needles because I tend to knit a little bit tight. I like to knit tight on purpose, but I just like that compact stitch definition. But in general, I do knit on the tighter side unintentionally. But when I really want to make something tight, I pull it a little tight. So I figured if I knit on a larger needle, I can still give it a little bit of growth, a little bit of movement, I guess, between the stitches, and still have that definition that I want because I'm a tight knitter. But I also am taking into account that this is going to be a long project because of how many stitches I need. And I'm thinking it might be bigger, honestly, because I'm using worsted weight and the pattern calls for DK. So yeah, it's going to be bigger than 60 inches just by default of the yarn width, the yarn weight difference. So what, did I do what I needed to do? Yes, okay. So how are you guys doing out there? How is your day or your night? What are you up to? I don't know what day of the week it is right now. I am filming ahead because I had the opportunity to take a weekend, a day off of work. Timing wasn't my choice, but I had to take the days off because I would lose them at the end of the fiscal year. And as per usual, I had a lot of vacation in my queue because of my job before we all had to start working from home. And when we started working from home, it was like a mad dash to get everybody situated. So I hadn't had an opportunity to really take a length of time off until now. So this is me from the past, making some stuff for the future, and I'm happy that it's currently a Monday night here, but depending on what day you see this, it probably won't be Monday when this is ready for you. And I just changed my battery, so I probably have 2 videos left I can make on this battery, and then that'll be it for the night because I still I'm charging the other one and it takes a long time, so I'm kind of stuck. But for this particular pattern, since it's been modified now, I need it to be the length of, well, not so much the length, but I need to get to 328 stitches. Now this is just in this color, 328 stitches in this color, and then I can add my color B, and I'll continue to increase until it is something 438 stitches long, and that's when I can start to decrease. So I have a ways to go, which is fine. Honestly, I think because this one is going a little bit faster, because you're not knitting a lot for a long time. Like I didn't start out with 420, what? I didn't start out with 430 I didn't start out with 438 stitches on my needle. I didn't have to cast on that many to begin with. And I think if I did, and I had to knit across and across and across all the way to the end, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. And I think that's why I was not very happy when I was knitting the blanket for my partner's mom and dad. Their holiday gift was a blanket that was, I can't remember how many I cast on, but I made something like a throw for them, and it took me about a year to do. And it was a late gift because it was supposed to be for the 2018 holiday, and it ended up being the 2019 holiday when I gave it to them. And it was just straight across long, long, long. And so I think because this one was a knit on the bias increase, so each row got just 1 stitch longer. I felt probably also because it was a baby blanket the first time I knit this pattern, so it went by super, super fast. So I think that aspect too made it go by quicker, and I felt more enjoyment out of it because it was a short project, but I saw results quickly, and I didn't have to keep knitting very long stretches continuously. And I think all of those elements made it more enjoyable. Ooh, it's dark now. Made it more enjoyable for me. So I feel like I might want to do one more of these, but one big color, or maybe like 2, but maybe not with stripes, and just a color block of 3 colors, maybe 4, keep modifying this pattern so that it's just a big block, but because I'm increasing one every row, it goes by a little faster because I'm not knitting one long stretch over and over and over again. So it does give me that variation that I enjoy in my knitting. So let me know, have you knit a blanket before? If you did you cast on all the stitches you needed from the beginning, or did you knit on the bias like this? Was it more of like a quilt style where you added different, or quilt or patchwork style where you added different pieces together to make the full shape? How did you do it? Or if you've knit a bunch of them, how do you do it? I honestly want to know if maybe crocheting, well, I hear that crocheting is faster. And I wonder if just crocheting a blanket would be faster altogether than knitting one. But first I need to learn how to crochet, because there are a lot of projects that are super, super cute that I want to do in crochet, but I do want to still have a lot more knitting to work on. Oh, I just ripped the label of this Caron 1 pound here. Have you guys seen a Caron 1 pound before? It's pretty massive. Literally a pound of acrylic yarn. And you can knit like a good size. It says, because this says, it gives you like, it might be on the site or something where there's like a description. It's like, great for 15 hats, or you got a whole classroom full of children, you can use a 1 pound to knit them all some mittens, or like something like that, where it says it's like you can use it, 1 pound of yarn was gonna make you so much stuff. I'm almost inclined to think I could use it to make a whole sweater for myself or something. I mean, it is literally 812 yards. I'll keep that in mind. There's like this really pretty, like rosy pink, like antique rosy 1 pound that I saw at Joann's the last time. Well, it wasn't the last time I was there, but it was when I bought these. These were on sale. They were having like a 40% off on the 1 pounds. So I bought the 3 colors that I'm using for this blanket, and I saw this like really pretty rosy color, but I was like, no, I have nothing in mind to knit with it right now. I'm there for the blanket yarn, so I'll just leave it at that. So I didn't pick it up, but if I did make a sweater, I really like that rosy pink color. I'm honestly not a pink person. Like, I used to despise pink. I think I purposely didn't like pink because I wanted to be like such a tomboy growing up that I was just like, blue. I mean, blue's still like my favorite color, but it's like blue, boys are yucky, pink is for sissy girls, and like, not sissy girls, because girls were essentially like more frail, but like frilly girls, like the girls who like tea parties, even though I still played with Barbies until I was like 16. So I don't know, I was a mess. But I didn't want anything to do with pink for a long time, and I got older and I'm like, you know what, it's not that bad of a color. And even now, like, I love pink on my nails. I love berry tones, like my lipsticks. I have a lot of berry color lipsticks, a lot of berry color nail polish. I have several sweaters that are like a rosy pinky color. So it's like, it's not bad. And my partner actually loves pink. It's their favorite color. So funny enough, there's this pink, mine's blue. And it's so funny because when we were living in this one town, my partner needed to get a new cell phone. And back when colored cell phones were like a thing, they pretty much got pink whenever they could. And it was funny because we went to this T-Mobile store not far away from us, and my partner's like, okay, you know, I gotta get a new phone. And they were talking to the sales associate, and the sales associate's like, okay, what color do you want? And he's like, I want the pink one. And the sales associate's like, are you sure? And it was like the most baby pink cell phone with even like a little florally design on the back. And my partner's like, yes, that's the one I want. And the sales associate's like, ooh, okay. And I was just looking at them like, you had to go there. They just wanted to make a point. It was like, it's pink and I like it. But I'm like, it's baby pink. My partner likes neon pink, like bright pink. So it wasn't even like the same pink they like. But they're like, it's pink, it's cool. So they had that for a while. So it's just like really funny. But yes, so that pink would be a very cute sweater, I think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I could probably wear it. It's not the softest, but if I had like an undershirt or something, it might be nice. Honestly, it's not too bad, but I'm sure after washing it a little bit, it'll soften up. Anyway, I'm not in any place to knit another sweater right now because, as you guys can see, I am still working on my cardigan. And cotton is the thing because I need to, if I'm lucky and I'm done with it before the end of summer, then I can wear it maybe one day before it gets cold again. So yeah, I have a ways to go before I can knit any other garments for myself. But yes, I'm loving this. Just increase one, knit across. So easy. And I'm probably jinxing myself. I need some wood to knock on so I can get rid of that bad luck I probably just gave myself. I just cursed myself so bad. But that's okay. But yeah, I'm curious about, like, what did the olden day people do when they had to knit blankets? Because did they have circular needles back then? I've asked this question already, so it may have been answered because I am filming this at the same time. That one is in the queue to be uploaded, so I may already know the answer by now. I don't know. there's this one woman I've been watching on YouTube, Dr. Cat, and it's called like Read the Past, I believe is the name of the channel, and she just has this soothing voice. If I'm not watching knitting, I'm listening to her because, I can go to sleep listening to her talk about history. That's one thing that I've always enjoyed. I loved the History Channel when I was younger. It was like something my uncle and I would watch besides like old war movies and action movies. We would watch History Channel together. This is fascinating. And it actually made me like really good in history class because I'm like, I know about XYZ. And my teacher's like, oh, great, thank you. Let's just have a whole conversation together because nobody else is raising their hand. But yes, I do love when there is some content that is well researched and easy to digest. That's like my favorite. So yes, I'll ask, what is new with you guys? Anything particularly cool or interesting happening in your neck of the woods? Nothing super cool or interesting for me, but I did start, I realized how, well, I'm not gonna kid myself. I'm very sedentary person. I've always just loved doing the I sound like so awful, but I've loved just not doing anything. As a child, I've always been the one to like walk the mile, run the shorts, walk the longs around the track when it came to like doing the mile. It's just like, what's the bare minimum I have to do? I've never been an active person. Unless I'm running from like a bee. Not really running for much. And I realized that my job when I was at work was actually when I got, well, besides walking to work, because I live so close to my job, but besides walking to work, when I was there, that was when I got like the most activity in my day because I'm walking up and down stairs all the time. I'm walking in and out of my office to help with customers and helping with training, and I'm on my feet and I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, being home when my desk is literally just where I sit because nobody else is asking me to do anything or needing me to step out and away to do anything. Like, I pretty much have just, once I'm downstairs and at my computer, I'm pretty much there until the end of the night, and I come upstairs just to like use the restroom or something. So I'm like, wow, I have literally just been doing much of nothing and bump on a log to the max. And I could go walk around, but the area I live in is actually full of a lot of walking people, and so I'm a little bit worried that I will encounter people who are gonna make it hard for me to social distance, so I'm trying to like not go outside too, just because there are people with like their animals and their little kids, and they're all like in the park area, and even though I live really close to the park area, that's where everyone's going, and I'm like, that's not where you want to be right now, with everyone walking around with their animal or their kid or their self, because there are like lots of families that just go on walks, and I don't want to do it at night, so I've been shuffling around in my basement, and that's been helpful because I just because my floors are pretty creaky. The basement's concrete, so I've just been walking around in there with my phone and my Spotify playlists, and just been getting a little bit more activity in my life, and it's been okay. Nothing too crazy, just making sure I'm moving around. And yeah, it might sound pathetic, but for a person who literally doesn't want to move much or have to move much, it's progress for me to remember, like, oh yeah, I used to walk around because that was just part of my job, and now that I'm stuck, I'm not doing that really. My partner's having a heart attack downstairs. Okay. So yeah, but I realized that I didn't have like any walking around shoes, so I bought some cheapy walking around shoes, because most of my shoes are like for work and not for long periods of walking around. So I'm excited about those to come in. I mean, I had some old tennis shoes, but they're not good for like long time walking, so just been doing little spurts here and there. But let me know, are you a fitness person? Do you like working out and doing all that stuff people do to stay living longer? Or just to keep your spirits up? I know like some of my friends really like it because it makes them feel good. Like their endorphins and stuff. But for me, this is what makes me feel good, so. I mean, walking around is fine, but I do need some music. I can't just do it in silence. That is not fun to me. But if I have music, I can go for a long time. So I usually have to walk. If I'm unable to get a ride to the train, I usually walk to the train so I can go to my book club that I haven't been to in 3 months? No, 2 months. Yeah, didn't go to the last one. The one after that was also digital, but the book is unavailable for loan at my library or through like our digital network, and I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to. As much as I want to interact with the people in my book club, I also do not want to buy any more books by this author that I do not like. I mean, one book I bought because I was still very new to the book club and naive about how to get resources. At least this particular one. I was like, sure, I want to build on my book collection. I'll buy this book. And I read it, and it was okay. And I'm like, that's fine. But then I borrowed some other ones of this author. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to buy any more from this person. I definitely want to try reading them rented and then decide if I want to buy it later. But so far, a lot of their content has steered me away. So it's not one that I would want to add to my collection. So I decided not to buy it, which therefore limited my participation in the Maze book club. Oh wow, it's already the end of the video. That was nice. Thanks for sticking around. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.